On May 6, 2025, the world watched with bated breath as tensions between India and Pakistan escalated dramatically. India launched a series of missiles targeting multiple locations within Pakistan. These strikes resulted in casualties, with initial reports suggesting at least 7 deaths in Pakistan-administered Kashmir. The strikes marked a significant escalation in the long-standing conflict between the two nuclear-armed neighbors. The immediate aftermath of the strikes was one of chaos and confusion. Pakistan closed its airspace over major cities, effectively bringing air travel to a standstill. Airports in Lahore and Karachi, the country's 2 largest cities, were shut down. This disruption sent ripples through the international aviation industry, with numerous flights cancelled or diverted. The Indian government swiftly claimed responsibility for the strikes, dubbing it Operation Sindoor. Officials characterized the operation as a limited and concentrated response to terrorist activities. They maintained that the strikes were not intended to target military installations, but were aimed at infrastructure linked to militant groups operating across the border. As sirens wailed and news channels broadcast images of the strikes, fear and uncertainty gripped the region. The world held its breath, hoping for a de-escalation and fearing the worst. This was a stark reminder of the volatile situation in South Asia, and the potential for a minor spark to ignite a larger conflagration. In the wake of the missile strikes, India and Pakistan engaged in a war of narratives, each side presenting its version of events. India maintained that its actions were justified and proportionate, a direct response to cross-border terrorism emanating from Pakistan. They pointed to a deadly attack on tourists in Indian-administered Kashmir the previous month, which claimed the lives of 26 people, as evidence of Pakistan's complicity. Pakistan, however, vehemently denied any involvement in the tourist attack and condemned the Indian strikes as an act of aggression. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, in a televised address to the nation, denounced India as a treacherous enemy and vowed a befitting response. He asserted that Pakistan would retaliate at a time and place of its choosing, further escalating the tensions. While India claimed that its missiles targeted only terrorist infrastructure, Pakistan disputed this assertion. They claimed that civilian areas were hit, resulting in casualties and widespread fear. The Pakistani military released images of what they claimed were damaged homes and injured civilians, aiming to garner international sympathy and condemnation of India's actions. The conflicting narratives and accusations further muddied the waters, making it difficult to discern the true extent of the damage and the veracity of each side's claims. This propaganda war, waged alongside the military action, highlighted the deep mistrust and animosity that characterizes the India-Pakistan relationship. The international community reacted with alarm to the escalating tensions between India and Pakistan. World leaders were quick to issue statements urging both sides to exercise restraint and prevent the situation from spiraling out of control. The specter of a conflict between 2 nuclear-armed nations was a sobering reminder of the potential for catastrophic consequences. U.S. President Donald Trump, in a brief statement from the White House, expressed deep concern over the situation. He called for an immediate cessation of hostilities and urged both India and Pakistan to engage in dialogue to resolve their differences peacefully. The United Nations Secretary-General, Antonio Guterres, echoed these sentiments. He called for maximum military restraint from both sides and stressed the importance of dialogue and diplomacy in resolving the conflict. The UN Security Council convened an emergency meeting to discuss the crisis, reflecting the global anxiety over the situation. At the heart of the India-Pakistan conflict lies the disputed territory of Kashmir. The Himalayan region, claimed by both countries, has been a flashpoint for decades, witnessing numerous wars and skirmishes. The recent escalation of tensions once again brought the Kashmir issue to the forefront, underscoring the intractable nature of the dispute. The 1947 partition of British India into India and Pakistan left the status of Kashmir unresolved. Both countries claimed the region, leading to the First Kashmir War in 1947. Since then, the two nations have fought 2 more wars over Kashmir, in 1965 and 1999. The region remains divided by a heavily militarized line of control, with India controlling the majority of the territory. Adding another layer of complexity and danger to the equation is the fact that both India and Pakistan possess nuclear weapons. This precarious reality casts a long shadow over any conflict between the two countries, as even a limited conventional war carries the risk of escalating into a nuclear confrontation. The international community is acutely aware of this danger and continues to urge both sides to exercise the utmost restraint and pursue a path of dialogue and diplomacy. The recent missile strikes serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace in South Asia and the urgent need for a peaceful resolution to the Kashmir conflict.